What's going on, everybody? Feyachi here, and I just got a little package in the mail, and we're just gonna go ahead and jump right on into it. And this is, let's get that focus for you. This is a Feyachi boar cider. We're gonna open this up for you so you can get all the goods. But it's made by Feyachi. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. And like I said, this is a boar cider. And if you don't know what these are actually really helpful when you don't have all the time to go to the range. And you can kind of get, it's not going to directly dial in everything perfectly, but what it is going to do is give you at least a good reference, and that way you can, really dial it down right after. But as you can see right on the back end here, you just unscrew this. That's where you're going to drop your batteries. But that's where your batteries go. Laser comes out, and then it kind of gives you a direction of what your bore is looking at, instead of you having to take apart your bolt and look down the bore and try to sight it in that way. It's not 100%, but it does give you kind of a reference point. It does come with a bunch of batteries. Just make sure that when you're sighting in your bores or whatnot, make sure you take these batteries out. There's not like an on-off switch, so if you leave these batteries in, it's just going to burn your battery. It's going to drain your battery life. But this is chambered for 223. I am going to test it in my 300 Blackout because as crazy as it sounds, I can still chamber a 300 Blackout into a 5.56, and I can still chamber a 5.56 into a 300 Blackout. But make sure you never fire a 300 Blackout out of a 5.56 barrel. But since they are kind of almost, they're not chambered in the same round, but the cartridge itself is about the same diameter as a 300 Blackout. So we're going to kind of test out a little bit of, we're going to test out my 300 Blackout, and we're also going to test it out in my 7.5 Bear Creek upper as well. So both Bear Creek uppers are going to get tested with this, but this is going to be primarily for any 223, 5.56 chambers. So let's get into this. Let's show you what it does. And that's going to be the laser right there. And we're going to test this out. And you always want to try to test it out, try to give yourself as far back as you possibly can. But I'm doing this inside a house, so I'm limited on how far I can reach out, but I'm going to go all the way back and then try to sight them in and see what we can do. We're going to be talking about the Feyachi red laser bore sighter. Let me get this thing focus. And that's what this is. Right now the batteries are out. And as you saw in the beginning, it comes with 3 sets of batteries. And basically what we're going to do is kind of show you what it does. And I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to load this thing into an empty gun. You can see there's no magazine, all that stuff, but we're going to show you real quick and quickly how to get this put into the chamber of your gun so that you can kind of sight in either your red dot or your irons or whatever it is that you have. So, but as you can see, you've got the back, you got where the batteries go, and the nice thing about these, they come in 3s. You need 3 of them, but these are actually wrapped in plastic, so that's really nice so that you don't have to fumble around. You just drop them in, make sure you've got the positive with the positive and all that good stuff. If you don't know how to do that, you'll figure it out when you go to assemble. and then you take the back plate, screw it down. As you can see, the laser already came on. Really bright, really nice. So that you know, I always suggest you know, try to get it to where you can still see your sights, but have it as dark so that you can really kind of dial it in. And this isn't gonna make it perfect. It's not gonna. It's gonna kind of give you just about. It's gonna get you close without you having to really work a lot to make sure that it's all directly sighted in. This is chambered for 223 and 556, but I am gonna try to put this into my 300 Blackout, and it's just to see, because the casings of the 300 Blackout and the 556 are about the same at the back end. They're definitely a lot different at the tip, but you know, you can chamber a 556 into a 300 Blackout, but you can't chamber a 300 Blackout into a 556. But I'm not saying to fire it, don't do that. That's a negatory. I'm just saying this bore sighter could help, you know, maybe dial in your 300 Blackout or your 556. I'm not saying to shoot anything out of different chamberings. I'm not saying that. So, without further ado, let's go ahead, get this thing put on. Definitely point it away from you. Don't point it at anybody. That way, you know, you don't want to hit anybody in the eyes with a laser. See it empty. Go ahead and just go ahead and get your bolt taken back. And I just suggest having it tilted just a little bit so that you can look down the chamber. And then you just slowly, while holding it, find the hole and just push it in. And then I'm going to pull this up, and hopefully you can see inside there. Yeah, it's going to be hard to see. But anyway, you just slide it into the chamber. I don't suggest that you slam it back. You know, you don't have to. I just do it about halfway, and I release the bolt. See, just like that. It caught it. You just want it going in, just the bolt to hit the bore sighter just enough so that it catches it, so that when you go to eject it, there you go. And now it's in there, it's seated in there properly. And obviously you can't see the red dot or the laser right now, but we'll show you that here in a minute. And then basically all you do is you line them up, whether it's your red dot, your sights, and then you can do this inside your home. I highly suggest that you keep your ammo and this bore sighter separate so that you don't ever mistake the two. And this will help you kind of get a general zero. It's not going to be a perfect zero, but it's going to get you dialed into a point where you're not going to be fishing around all day at the range, wasting a lot of ammo. It's gonna help you get it sighted in a lot quicker. Adjustments from there. You know, I have Magpul flip up sights here. Comes with this little handy dandy little tool for the front post, and then you have your, you know, your windage on the other side, and that's just a little turn knob. So you can see that little turn knob right there. That turn knob, and then on the front post, obviously you turn it right and left. This was, we're gonna see how zero this is. This was pretty much almost zeroed, but we're gonna see how close it was and all that good stuff. So let's get into it. Make sure you have a stable platform so that you can really try to dial in the laser, the bore sighter. But this is just me showing you how bright the laser is on a target.